Well, now I'd like to say some things. Uh, I hope I have a proper light. Well, I have load settings. Well, and now let me see. Here I have all comments. Well, all the comments it is ready. Yes. Okay. Salam Habibi, how are you? I hope you are fine. Well, it is me, Michael Cizeri Santa, and welcome to you our channel Sheikh Afghan Jelebi Michael Cizeri Santa. Just for 2 minutes, well, I am facing some problems of water, so okay. Well, and now I am facing some lack of electricity. Well, my file was ready in laptop, but at the last moments I got almost 5 hour blackout, electric blackout. Hence, perhaps I have 1 hour to say with you. Okay, you have read the right the title. We are going to roast about we are going to roast Nirmala Sitharaman in the topic on GST, 18% GST on sociological educations. Well, and now perhaps you got the right points keyword as my titles. Well, because of Nirmala Sitharaman, nowadays perhaps our UPSC exam would be going to be trash. Why would I am saying? I would tell you later. But at first, let me tell you that why I am saying that UPSC gonna be trash because of Nirmala Sitharaman. Well, now first of all, everybody we know that when some of my friends are Indians, well, everybody we know that what is UPSC. But some of our friends are Indian but living in Canada, Australia, uh, and as a raw agent, he living in Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh. And some of our friend is Bangladesh, she and some Pakistani. Well, now so Pakistani and Bangladeshi would not know it, but let me tell you, well, UPSC is a certain exam where we can, that is the selection that we can be Indian Administrational Service Officer, Indian Police Service Officer, and we can be judge of the Indian Supreme Courts and Mumbai High Courts or Chennai High Courts. In the case, here is a one fraction of UPSC that we can be an army officer or officers. Well, Some of us would not know that what is RNAW officers, and some of our friends who have a negative mindset of about RNAW because they are Pakistani and Bangladeshis. Okay. Well, as my perceptions, UPC is the exams that some of us can be a collector, governor, and bureaucrats, and some of us can be police officer or intelligence bureau officers or well RNAW officers and foreign diplomats, etc., or military army officers. They can be anything. Well, we have an IAS officers. We Indians has IAS officers like Shiv Shankar. Well, as my habit is that when I have said Jaishankar, my Hindu gestures automatically ons. Well, but this is Jaishankar is an Indian administrational officer to be the Minister of Foreign Foreign Affairs. Okay. Now here I want to say some our IPS officers. Okay. As IPS officer, my favorite example is Ajit Dawar. Okay. Well, and now today is the month of the Indian Independence Month. Well, we can praise Ajit Dawar and it's Jaishankar. Okay. Now, here we go. Now, let's come into the topics that why I am saying. Because of Nirmala Sitharaman's UPSC exam can be a trash. Okay. Well, as first of all, let me say, what is the point that you want to be an UPSC? Simple. In Indian education, if you have to clear the UPSC, well, as especially your sociological knowledge, as an Indian school and Indian college, your sociology course would be strong. I mean, your knowledge about sociology course would be strong. Well, and here, now let me have a point of the point to roast Nirmala Sitharaman. Okay. Nirmala Sitharaman said 18% GST on sociology. 80% GST on sociology. Well, and now here we can say some points. As let me see. In sociology, we know that as our sociological knowledge, we know there is Three. There is four economical administrations. Well, first, economical administration is a socialism. Well, here some can be rich, some can be poor, and some can be middle class. But here, well, middle class can control both rich Indians and poor Indians. Here is a sociology. Well, and in here is socialism. In socialism, well, middle class person can control rich people. Well, when rich people want to set any projects, they have to pass their project with the signature of middle class people. Well, okay, and now eco administration. Okay, and now, well, here I can say some things. Well, socialism. Okay, here you can say, well, Mukesh. Oh, now let me see. Ratan project. Well, Ratan Tata project. Jaguar. Well, Jaguar. Here, Jaguar. Here, allowance. Here, allowance speed is. Now, let me see what is the allowance speed. The allowance speed is almost 300 kilometer per hour. Okay, and here we can say well, now here we know that what would be the weight. 2000 kilometer. 2000 kilometers. Okay. Now here is that means what is allowance? Kinetic energy. The allowance kinetic energy. Here is the allowance kinetic energy. That would be here half of mv square. Okay. Now what is half of m? That is that is crystal clear. That is 1000 multiple by okay. Now here we can say let's convert into converse kilometer per hour into meter per second. Okay. Well, say hi. Salam, how are you? Information about everything. Salam, how are you? Okay. 3600. Well, here is oh no. So 1000 minus 000. That means almost 84 star. And now, well, here I have privately calculated that what is the meaning of 300 kilometer per hour. Well, 300 kilometer per hour is that you can run 84 meter per second. Okay, and now here you can see well 84. Well, that is well, we have an allowance kinetic energy in socialism. That means almost 7.1 May. And now as socialisms, now we can see as a socialisms you can use water, you can use petrol. Well, as when you are using fuel to operate your car, well, you can use petrol, you can use gas, you can use fuels. Oh, yeah, they are fuels. You can use diesels and you can use water and you can use solar systems. Well, but as a solar systems, it works only in day. Now we want to operate our car as night. Well, it is allowed that you can use well, you can use solar artificial sun. But here problem is that then the allowance RT, well, as RT fee, well, here fuel can be artificial sun, and as we can say it as AH. Well, allowance A is temperature. Here allowance AH temperature is would be almost 1 million 1 is plus 6 degree Celsius. You can use only maximum of 1 million degrees Celsius. Okay, and now here I privately want to say what would be the sociological points. Well, uh, so socialist, socialist. Well, kinetic weight of artificial sun. Well, allowance temperature allowance temperature is 1 million degree Celsius. Okay, and now 1 million degree Celsius. Well, allowance speed is 300 kilometer per hour. That means 84 meter per second. Okay, here we can see. Well, as a kinetic now where kinetic weight capability is 98%. Now, well, as a science student, what we know? We know that eta equal to half of mv square. Well, large m, large specific heat and large T. Well, and now we know that artificial sun specific heat that is over 15,408 joule per kilogram per Kelvin. And now here I got 7.1 E plus 6 joule. Okay, now here, well, here is that is kinetic weight of artificial sun. Well, now 0.98 is capability because it is 98%. 15,408 multiplied by 1e6. Well, now let's see what would be the result. Well, as an effect, the affection is clear. Okay, and now 7.1 uh, divided by bracket of 0.98 multiple by okay 15408 bracket close. Well, 1 2 3 4. Well, here I got that is almost 0.5 gram hams. That means 500 milligrams. Well, now, okay, my private calculation is complete. Well, in sociological kinetic weight of artificial suns, well, allowance temperature, here is Roton Tata Jaguar car. Allowance artificial fuel can be artificial sun, right? But here allowance speed is 300 km per hour and allowance temperature of artificial sun is almost mostly 1 million degrees Celsius. 2 million degrees Celsius is not allowed. Okay? And here we can say, here is my calculations. Capability can be 98%. Hence, here our calculation is that, well, 500 milligrams can be used as a artificial solar fuel for a Jaguar car with the speed of 300 km per hour, where weight is just for a where weight is 200 kilometers. I apologize, 200 kilograms. Well, and but now here that is capitalism, and here well, capitalism, accordance with the capitalisms, you can say, and what is allowance speed? What is that? That 3. Okay. 216. Okay. Well, 666,666 degrees Celsius. Okay. And now we have one subject by well, here you can see as a sociology my artificial sun I jet 300 kilometer per hour. Well, that means 84 meter per second. My fuel artificial sun would contain temperature as mostly 1 million degrees Celsius 2 million degrees Celsius is not allowed. Even 1,100,000 degrees Celsius is not allowed. Well, artificial solar kinetic weight is 500 milligrams. But on the other hand, as a capitalism's allowance speed is all 200. Well, here is my mistakes. Now I have to clear myself. Well, here you can see that 72% speed of light is its allowed speed, and the allowance artificial solar temperature is 666. Well, here we can say the allowance artificial solar kinetic weight is almost okay 787 minus 666,654 kilograms. Okay, here is our kinetic well, and now you can see here is our kinetic agent, kinetic artificial solar. And now here, well, okay, and now here I can say something as our points. Well, perhaps here is my technological problems. I want to fix it. Okay, now I can hide it. Well, now and well, I have said some what is where capitalism works, and I have said where socialism works. Okay, but problem is that, well, where socialism problem is that Nirmala Sitharaman, a financial minister of India, here we can see what we are facing the problems. Well, as a Nirmala Sitharaman said 18% GST on our sociology. Well, and previously I have said that when previously in several lives I have said, well, when I, a sociological teacher, contains annual income of, I have a right as my monthly income, then I have a right that I would not pay any single Indian paisa as an annual income tax. But when here is sociological education, because I am a sociological teacher. Well, I am a teacher of sociology. Well, here I have to pay 54. Well, well, I have to income as my GST in education. Well, I want to request you to let me allow to speak Bangla for personal reasons, please. For the personal reasons. আম্মু তুমি যাবা? Okay. Well, and here you can say something about it, and we can say it. Well, now back to the points. Well, and now here is what is the difference? Well, Nirmala Sitharaman is students of Nirmala Sitharaman is the student of Jawaharlal Nehru University as a Masters of Arts degree in the stream of economics. Well, and nowadays every of us knows that Jawaharlal Nehru University is promoting communism in UPSC exams. Well, here you can say, well, as our capital, I am explaining what is the difference between socialism and capitalism and the communism. Okay. Well, now what is communism? Well, communism is okay. When I would write something, I can sit here. But when I am talking, I can change my studio. Okay. And now I am going to see my studios. Well, here is a lack of electricity. Perhaps Ahmad Jacob, Pakistani hacker, success to hack our electricities. I don't know why. Okay. Well, now here we can say, well, and now I am saying our points. Well, as we are, what is okay. Capitalism is an educational system. Well, capitalism is an economical system where you can have a certain incomes as you have a talent. Well, in the capitalist country, well, okay. Well, in capitalist country, you can earn 5 million United States dollars as being teachers. When if you are researching on a topic that brings a value for the countries, scientific value for the countries. Here, teachers for the scientific research for countries, a scientific teachers can earn 5 million United States dollars only in the capitalistic countries. You can ask what is you can ask on ChatGPT that what is the salary of a monthly salary of the professor of the Oxford University and Cambridge University and MIT and the University of Harvard? Well, perhaps they would tell you that annual salary is 5 million United States dollars, or monthly salary is 5 million United States dollars or something. Well, here is the points. Well, and here is the points. Now, let me tell you that what is the salary of Jaguar Tatas. Let me tell you how capitalism is beneficial for Tata Consultant Service in Jaguar cars. Let me see. Say, well, Tata consultants can't, as I have said the previous points. Well, Tata Jaguar say the positive as they can say. Well, they are in capitalism. Car allowance speed is 216,000 km per second. That means almost 72% of the speed of light. Okay, and the allowance temperature. Well, just 2 minutes. Well, here Jaguar University, as I can see, well, Jaguar University, what I'm doing? Jaguar car. The allowance velocity is 72% velocity of light, and the allowance fuel is artificial sun. Well, in socialism, allowance fuel can be artificial sun. Here, what is the fuel type? Here, you can see that socialism and capitalism is same. But now let me tell you what is the difference. Well, the allowance temperature is 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666,666 degrees Celsius. Well, but in socialism, the allowance temperature is the highest allowance temperature is almost 1 million degrees Celsius. Okay. Now here I am going to tell. Well, now as an effect, when the kinetic weight of artificial sun in socialism is 500 milligrams, in there, I am talking about the capability of 98%. When your capability is low, then the kinetic weight of artificial solar measurement can be high. Well, when in socialism, artificial solar kinetic weight is 500 milligrams, in capitalism, artificial solar kinetic weight is 7.87 multiplied by 10 to the power negative 666,654 kilograms. Well, and here we can say here is the difference between capitalism and socialism. Well, but now why am I missing communism while Nirmala Sitharaman's, well, just for 2 minutes. Well, why I am missing the concept of communism when Nirmala Sitharaman is the student of Jawaharlal Nehru in the stream of economics in 1984. Okay. (1984), Nirmala Sitharaman's contains economics. Well, Jawaharlal Nehru in the points, communism is at the peak. Okay. And now let me tell you some things. Well, here we can see seven as our communism systems. Well, the allowed highest speed is 100 kilometer per hour. Okay. And here, well, 100 kilometer per hour. And well, allowance fuel is the petrol. In communism, artificial sun is not allowed. When artificial sun is not allowed, well, artificial sun can be rejected in a communist country. Well, artificial sun is rejected in Cuba, and artificial sun is rejected in artificial sun rejected in our West Venezuela. Well, here in the case of 100 kilometer, well, here we have forgotten the petrol. Well, and now as an allowance high speed of 100 km per hour. Well, now let me see what can be kinetic zoom. Well, kinetic zoom, just for 2 minutes. Well, as kinetic zoom, we can say that can be almost 2.3 million joule. Okay. Well, that can be 2.3 million joules. But in the case, well, now I am calculating as a 98% capability, when actually the capability is almost, well, 25%. 25%. And now here I can calculate just for 2 minutes. Okay, and here we can say 2.3 million joule. Okay, divided by, well, 0.98, bracket of 0.98 multiple by 2. Okay, multiple by 0.778 multiple by okay, 50. And now here we can say 0.03. Okay. 10 to the power 10 to the power 6. Okay. Just for 2 minutes. Okay. Here and here you can see that we need almost 10,000 liter of petrol to operate our Jaguar car in the allowance speed of 100 kilometer per hour. Okay. And now, actually it is almost 31,000 liter of petrol. Now here in the process we can measurement it with the only with kinetic weight of the petrol. But how could I liters? Here is the question. But the answer is, we know that 0. What is the density of petrol? That means 0.778 kilometer. Guys, kilogram per liter. Okay. And now what is the equation of weight? Rho multiplied by volume. Well, the kinetic jackpots, as we can see, now I am talking to say in capitalism, allowance speed is 72% velocity of light. In socialism, allowance velocity is 300 km per hour. Allowance velocity is 100 km per hour. Okay. Second difference that bring the third difference. Here is what is the fuel? In the case of similarity and difference between socialisms and capitalisms. Now, as in socialism, you can implement your fuel type as fuel to mineral resource as fuel to operate your Jaguar car. In the case in socialism, you can use petrol, you can use diesel, you can use gas, CNG gas, you can use water, and you can use electric battery, Well, electric battery is charged by the other resource, mineral resource. Well, you can resource solar system, and as a solar systems, you can use artificial sun as fuel. Okay. Every mineral resource is category is accepted as a fuel to operate a car in socialism. Okay. Now, here in capitalism, well, you can use every mineral resource as your fuel, but you cannot use petrol as fuel. You cannot use diesel as fuel. Well, and your first priority should be artificial sun. Well, as an option to choose mineral resource as a fuel, your first priority should be artificial sun. And what is the allowance temperature? The allowance temperature is, here is minimum allowance temperature. That is 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666,666 degree Celsius. Okay? Do it. Okay. Well, now here we can say some. Now here is a, well, and what about the communism? In communism, you have only two. Well, you have only three options to of mineral resource as your fuel to operate your car. First priority is petrol. Well, petrol doesn't exist. Diesel doesn't exist. Well, available. Then gas. I mean the CNG gas. Well, you have only three options. You can between petrol. You have to choose one option between the three options. What is three options? Petrol, diesel, and CNG gas. Well, you cannot have any options to operate batteries. Well, you cannot have options to use coal as your fuel to operate the car, and you cannot use natural solar system as your fuel to operate the car. And now just forgot in communism, artificial sun as fuel to operate car is a crime. And here is the part that why communist country became the poor country minutes by minutes. But and now here I have talked about what is the point. What is the difference between, well, And here is the third difference is in socialism. Well, you can use artificial sun as fuel, but your allowance temperature is 1 million degrees Celsius. Well, your highest allowance speed is 1 million degrees Celsius. And in capitalism, the lowest allowance temperature is 666 multiplied by 10 to the power 666,666 degrees Celsius. And in communism, well, artificial sun as fuel is a crime. You can use only petrol. Well, then forget about temperature more than 50 degrees Celsius. Okay, and here you can say just forget about it. Well, just and here is the difference. And now here is my points that where Nirmala Sitharaman said 18% GST on socialism. Well, as a sociological teachers with the monthly income of 300 United States dollars, well, before any GST on education, well, I have neither to pay. I have to pay any single Indian paisa, neither as annual income tax nor as annual GST. Well, even the value additional tax is just for 1 kilo breads, 1 kilogram breads, well, a cloth, a t-shirt, a pant, a hijab and a niqab. Well, here is value additional ads for business. Here that is okay. Well, that means I have to pay neither annual income tax nor annual GST. There is before Nirmala Sitharaman as a as a financial minister of India. Okay. It is before the tax. When what is as a sociological teachers in the question about socialism, capitalism and communism, what was my teaching method? My teaching method was that capitalism is a best policy. Well, capitalism brings the higher gross domestic products and the higher capital income for the countries. Well, when you have a higher capital income and when you have when you have a higher gross domestic product you have a you have a strong diplomacy to protect your country. Well, here, here is a good point. But sometimes we have to face some evil points for socialisms and communisms. Well, that was sometimes a bad effects. Okay. Well, now we have some bad effects for AIDS, and we have bad effects for that for our countries. Well, now Nirmala Sitharaman. Here is my teaching method. Well, in socialism, here is two types of income. First type of income is the base of okay. Hello, brother. Salam, brothers. How are you? I am next time. Okay. If you are not next time in life, then I would have a respect for you. Well, okay. Your country, Bangladesh. Well, I would like to say no, but the reality is that it is yes, unfortunately, and that is our unfortunate, or in your voice, that is the bad lucks because of dictator Dr. Muhammad Yunus. I mean the feminist Dr. Muhammad Yunus. Okay. Well, and now, well, you can, and now here we can say some things. Well, let's have a break and now focus on it. Well, when I have no GST pressure on education as a sociological teacher, well, I can teach our students that what is the best economical policies. Well, I can say that capitalism is the best economical policy because in capitalism, well, you can earn if you have a talent. Okay. A student without any merit, I mean a meritless student in a capitalist country can be neither teacher nor an employee nor a laborer and nor a shopkeeper. Even a meritless person in capitalist country cannot have a right to become a security guard or peon or sweeper. Okay. Here is a positive point for capitalist country. And now let me see what is the socialist country. Well, as socialist country, there is two fraction of income. The first fraction is of the monthly income is based of what is your fundamental needs. That means it's based of your hungry, it's based of you are new clothless or you want to have a clothes. Well, in you have a and decent hobo shelter. In 3 days, here is a basic in three basic fundamental needs. Here is first fraction of income, and the last fraction of annual income is monthly income is what is your talent. In the base of what is your talent. Okay, in a socialist country, a meritless, well, I mean a donkey human can be a security guard, a donkey human can be a peon, a donkey human can be a sweeper, a donkey human can be a houseman. But in socialist country, a meritless human cannot be a clerk, a meritless human cannot be a high salary labor, a meritless human cannot be employee. Well, a meritless human cannot be governmental secretariat or bureaucrats. A meritless human cannot be manager. A meritless human cannot be chief executive officer. Well, a meritless human cannot be collector or governor. Here is a good point. Socialism. Here is a good point. And here capitalism is different because in the designation of security guard, peon, sweeper, you have to have some merits. Otherwise, you should be unemployed forever. Well, in capitalist country, if you can be manager, general manager, director manager, chief executive officer, governmental officer, governmental assistant secretariat, governmental secretariat of certain ministry. Well, the best bureaucrat of the government, that you can be collector, you can be governor, you can be governor generals. Well, what is the meaning of that? Okay, we got the currents. But we got currents for some 5 minutes. Okay. And now here's the points. Now let me say what would happen on us. Well, in capitalist country, if you can be okay, you can be governor, you can be when you can be collector, you can be governor, you can be governor generals. Well, even in military officers, you can be a brigadier general, you can be lieutenant general, you can be generals, and you can be a field marshal, I mean general, chief general of armies. That means that is clear that you are most meritorious person of your capitalist country, the country where you have to be meritorious to be a constable. But when you can be general, you can be chief general of your national armies, that means you are the most army meritorious person, soldiers of your armies. Well, that is the points of a capitalist country. Okay, now let me tell you that what is communist country. Okay, now let me tell you what is communist country. In communist country, well, talent does not matter. Well, in communist country, talent does not matter. Well, what is the complete monthly income is in the base of what is your need. Here, in the communist country, lazy women, I mean the lazy transgender can be chief executive officer of a company without any merit. She can be well, she can be a chief executive officer just because she have to feed her 8 daughters, cousins' daughters, boyfriends, cousins, sisters, girlfriends, brothers, boyfriends, daughters. Well, well, in communist country, if you want to be a high salaried person, or if you want to be chief executive officer of a company, then you have to have a yalla. Okay. Now I can say some points just for 2 minutes. When okay, when I have electricity for some times, 10 minutes. Well, now script notebook is my second options. The primary options is laptops. Well, dot PSD. Okay. Just for points. And now, okay, I have options. Well, and here we can say communist countries. Well, in communist, okay, just I have an option to minimize it. Well, in communist country, here I can have a single point. So, if you want to be a chief executive officer, you should have minimum 50,000 relatives. Then you can be chief executive officer. But in socialist country and in the capitalist country, this parameter does not work. Chief executive in socialist country, when you want to feed your families, you can be a security guard, you can be peon, without your married. But if you want to be chief executive officer in a socialist country, you have to be meritorious. And in capitalist country, every designation of employment is in the base of merit. If you are meritless in a capitalist country, you have no right to live. Well, here is my teaching. And now, suddenly Nirmala Sitharaman applied 18% GST on sociological education. And what is the effect? Let me tell you. The effect is that, well, it is the worst negative effect as we can see. Well, I am the sociological teachers. Well, my monthly salary is 300 United States dollars. I have a right that I would not pay any single Indian paisa as annual income tax. But what about GST on sociological education? Here I have to pay 54 United States dollars. Well, and for that I am forced to get 108 United States dollars as GST on education from my each children's. Okay. Well, as here we can say, well, here Dipti IAS and here Dipti IAS and Khansar Academic Centers is on the field. Well, Khansar Academic Centers and Dipti IAS. Well, and Ahot Oja is there. Well, their annual views is almost million views. Well, their annual points. I mean the yes, their views is every video. Their views is almost 10 million or 2 million. Okay, I would say the minimum views 2 million. Uh, the actual views is more than 2 million views. Okay, and now here we can say okay. Now here we can say what is the negative points we are facing. Well, here the negative points we are facing is crystal dangerous points. Well, as the crystal dangerous points we are facing is that, well, and the 18% GST on education. Here, unfortunately, well, 2 million multiplied by 108 United States dollars. That means we have to get minimum 216 million United States dollars as GST on sociological educations, online educations from our 2 million viewers. Hers. Well, and here now, well, when I have said Dipti IAS and Khansar Academy Centers, because in 2 YouTube channels they were free. They were for free sociological education to crack the UPSC exam. But but here 2 million views. Well, as Nirmala Sitharaman applied 18% GST on sociological education, well, the average of 2 million viewers' parents is family income is 600 United States dollars. Well, and here 432 million United States dollars is set as a GST on sociological educations. And now here we can say that certainly we are facing that GST. We are facing when several students of WSC and here we know, of course, several false UPSC coaching center is the culprit. But as 18% GST on sociological educations, nowadays, well, Khansar and Dipti IAS is going to be income tax corrupt person of the India if they could not pay, well, 432 million United States dollars as annual as the monthly GST on sociological education, just because of the lack of 10 Indian rupees. Well, Dipti IAS and Khansan can be recognized as corrupt person of the Indias, and as an effect, well, the students of the next students of Dipti IAS and the Khansar Academic Center cannot be the next IAS officer and the next IPS officers. Yes. Here and here, communism is the well, and because of the lack of GST, then why would we sociological teachers educate? Well, our teaching would be that communism is the best policy, because everybody has would contain their income as they can feed their families. Well, capitalism and socialism, the income policy both of capitalism and socialism is pays off. Well, and now I could say the word in lieu of PA's word, and I do it on the offline. I mean the without the internet. But in social media, here is abusive. Abuse is in the abusive is the violations under community guideline policies. Hence, my word is PA's off. Well, and now here when we sociological teachers say communism is the best policy, actually we do not teach our students as an actual economic systems. How actual economical and civic system works. And I don't know why, but Nirmala Sitharaman is pass out student in the Bachelor of Arts degree in the stream of economics only in a Masters of Arts degree in the economics only in Jawaharlal Nehru universities. Well, Jawaharlal Nehru University, and well, Jawaharlal Nehru, well, university is notorious to promote the communism and anti-nationalism and anti-culturalism. Well, they promote only Islamic workism. Okay. They promote Pakistan in Kashmir, that is is good for Americans because Pakistan is still a strategic ally for Americans. But they promote Palestinian terrorism in United States of America. That is the real problem. And now our financial minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, is passed out from just for 1 minute. I have to out of camera focus because of some points. Well, here Nirmala Sitharaman is passed out of Jawaharlal Nehru University in the stream of economics, and now we can say that one is the foreign policy or the economical what is her financial policy. Her financial IQ is almost negative 1,000. Well, that means Nirmala Sitharaman's just for 2 minutes. That means Nirmala Sitharaman's Nirmala Sitharaman is the financial minister of India with an IQ of IQ score 1,000 multiplied by -1. Okay, and now that is actually the problem for our earth. Well, now because of Nirmala Sitharaman, nowadays American United States President Donald Trump could say that India is a dead economy. Well, they could not say Pakistan is a dead economy. Well, Pakistan is a strategic ally. Well, but Iran is an enemy of America. But still, Donald Trump could not say Iran is a dead economy. Donald Trump could not say Afghanistan is a dead economy. Well, Donald Trump could not say Bangladesh is a dead economy. Even Donald Trump could not say, well, Yemen is a dead economy. But why Donald Trump is saying India is a dead economy? Just because, well, Nirmala Sitharaman, a financial minister of India, is the student of Jawaharlal Nehru University, and now she applied 18% GST on Sociology Education, and as an effect, well, we could not teach a proper sociological educations. We could not teach that what is the best economical policy. Well, but because of that persecutions, in chance, at the sudden, if we could teach our students that capitalism is the best policy, well, then Nirmala Sitharaman would say us that we are broker of United States of America. Well, where my alumina is Japanese, television can be Americans, mobile is Chinese, and air condition is Malaysians. But still, when we are teaching the correct economical policy for the students, we are addressed by Nirmala Sitharaman as a broker of America, and it is the worst joke we do not have seen. And now that is the points that is the first point, that why I am saying that UPSC certificate gonna be trust because of Nirmala Sitharaman's a financial minister of India, because she said 18% GST on sociological education. Well, a student has to pay 18% GST on sociological education from his pocket, and we sociological teachers has to pay 18% GST from our pockets. Hence, we have to collect 36% GST on our sociological educations. Well, it is now here is the civic sense. Well, and now I would say 3 minutes for history. Well, I would say 3 minutes for history. Well, as a history, we sociological teacher teach our students, educate our students that, well, why Mughal Sultan Akbar is a ruthless person, why Maharana Pratap is a Indian freedom fighter, why Marathi Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Marathi Sultan Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj is the freedom fighter of India against the Mughal Sultanate. Here is our teaching points. But nowadays, well, Nirmala Sitharaman applied 18% GST on sociological education. 18% GST. 18 means 18, not 80. Okay. Here is my pronouns problems. Well, after 18% GST on sociological education, well, we Dipti IAS and Khansar academic centers. When Dipti IAS and Khansar academic center would collect 432 million United States dollars, well, from 2 million views, where the 2 million views are the UPSC aspirants. Well, Chhatra, then only for that we can teach our students that Khansar and Dipti IS could teach our students how Mughal Sultanate was ruthless and how Marathi Empire and Rajput Kingdom is a freedom fighter against the Mughal Sultanate. Well, we can teach our students properly. But here Nirmala Sitharaman applied 18% GST on sociological education. And when here is 10 Indian rupees is a lakh of 400 lakh from the 432 million United States dollars as GST on sociological education. Well, Khansar Academic Center and Dipti IAS found missing. Well, Dipti IAS would teach the UPSC student that how Mughal Sultan Akbar is cute, how Aurangzeb is cute, how Shah Jahan is little baby. Dipti IAS could not teach the UPSC student properly that what is the real face of ruthless Mughal Sultan Akbar, ruthless Mughal Sultan Babar, ruthless Mughal Sultan Aurangzeb. Every cruelty Dipti IAS could not teach UPSC experienced student properly, and here is the problems. Okay. And now finally let's talk about the terrorism. Let's talk about terrorism. Okay. What is terrorism? Well, now as a definitions, we know that terrorism is unlawful violence on innocent civilian in the purpose of political, geographical and religious aim. Well, that means to define a terrorism, the first priority is that the violence on citizen is unlawful or lawful. Second priority is what is the purpose between the three purposes? The three purposes is political purpose, geographical purpose and religious purpose. Okay. Well, when the communist, as a communist, well, we know the communist terrorism, we know the Islamic terrorism, we know the left-wing terrorism. But here As a political terrorism, it is cannot define properly because for the nationalist right wing, well, for the right wing, left wing is a person is terrorist. For the left wing person, right wing person is the terrorist. Here is political terrorism. Well, when right wing person persecuted on left wing person, well, first of all, right wing person tried to justify is that my violence on left wing person is a lawful because left wing person is a criminal. On the other hand, left wing for the left wing, when left wing person persecute on a right wing person, the justification from the left wing person is that my violence is lawful and the right wing person is a criminal. Well, political terrorism is confusional, but the geographical terrorism, it is somehow the clear parts, but it is not 100% clear. Okay. In geographical, well, in geographical terrorism without communism, here for in Burmese person, Bangladesh is not innocent citizen. For Bangladeshi person, Burmese person is not innocent citizen. For Pakistani person, Afghan person is not innocent. For Afghan, Pakistani is not innocent. Well, it is the confusion of geographical terrorism. But as a communism sit in here, economy is here. Well, here is somehow the clear-cut idea, clear-cut definitions. Well, everybody out of communist belief is innocent citizens, and communist person's violence on the person out of communist belief is unlawful violence, and communist purpose is that to establish communism in India or Pakistan or Bangladesh. Well, here religion, political and geographical terrorism is clear. But and the religion is that every the expert says, as a sociological expert says, every Islamic army is a terrorist because their violence is unlawful on the innocent citizens. Well, innocent citizens can be the citizens of the Islamic countries or citizens of the other Kafir countries. But violence on him in the Islamic purpose is unlawful because in the hands we can say that there is the Islamic terrorism. But and now while Nirmala Sitharaman applied 18% GST on sociological education, well, now Dipti IAS and Khan sir, the teacher of UPSC, would would not have a ability to teach you a proper education about Islamic terrorism without 432 million United States dollars as GST on sociology. And here is the large problem we are facing. Okay. And now, recently, okay. And now I am facing on something like that. Just for 2 minutes. Okay. Perhaps we can say some things, but never mind. It is a clear-cut point from me. Okay. इसको तो 200 साल ज़्यादा लगते कि यार हटाओ यार अपना लैपटॉप यूट्यूब जिंदाबाद ओके well, and now here I can say some points. Okay. And now I can hide this as my policies. Well, what I am timing? SSC exam scam in India. Okay. Now here is my topic is SSC exam scan in India. Well, now here is we got the points. Why SSC aspirants are protesting? Well. Oh my God, what's going on? Okay. And here SSC exam scam, and now here is a okay, and now here we can say some particular points, and now in as my history okay, here is a 12 film movie behind the scene. Dipti IAS has been faced, we can see it. Okay. And now as history I want to check my history. Well, where is my secondary laptop? I mean the one skin keyboards, I could not find it. Okay. Well, now here SSC exam. Oh, aspirant. Now, okay. And now, here is what I have found. Okay. Here is some Hindi. That means constable exam, constable peon exams. Here is the SSC protest 2025 final reply to all. Now here is the points. Now, okay. Well, and now here is now you have to believe me. Well, you can believe me that nowadays aspirants, well, SSC governmental peon aspirants is going to negative points as we can see, because yeah, Nirmala Sitharaman applied 18% GST on sociological education. Well, a peon, clerk, constables, well, are superintendent of police, they could not have a time that they, or surgeons, they could not have a time that they could be a successful WSC experience. Why? Here, Nirmala Sitharaman applied 18% GST on sociological education. Well, and as a result, well, in WSC aspirant exams, well, equity is higher in the, well, cheap cost, in the cheap cost. PSC would could be higher, but the cost is affordable. But equity is the cheap. Now, why I have said cheap in lieu of affordables? Now, let me tell you. Here, okay. Now we have a point to explain you some things. Okay. Well, here Isara is a scam. Here we
hello everyone, this is me
every UPSC teacher is a scam, as you can say. But now, okay. Well, here is the now Drupal has a well, Drupal has a phone video uploaded on YouTube. Indian students are angry. Education exam system is collapsing. The truth, dark truth of UPSC is WSC exam hurts Rajput. Okay. WSC protest. reality of India's broken entrance exam systems, WC student exam scam exposed. Now here you can say I am just recording it and happened. Well, no, here is good. Okay, that is actually happened when which cost? The cost is that as parents, we have a experience of UPSC. Well, while Nirmala Sitharaman applied 18% GST on sociology, well, that means the parents of sociological students would have family monthly income as 600 United States dollars, where father income is 300 United States, monthly income is 300 United States dollars, and the mother's income is 300 United States dollar per month. Here the annual GST is well 260 United States dollars, 108 United States dollars would be spent from the pocket of the aspirant UPSC aspirants' parents, and the 108 United States dollars for each UPSC aspirant would be spent from UPSC teachers' pockets. Okay. And here we can have as a evil effect, we are facing it, and as we are facing it, I know that it is the negative points as we could face, and actually we could not accept the real problems as we could face, and it is out of our minds. Okay. Well, now when UPC aspirant became the governor and the collector of the provincial state or some particular city of the particular provincial state, well, they can, or the secretariat or the bureaucrats, well, they can apply the Gender Protection Act. Well, and now, what is our teaching in the questions of Gender Protection Act? Where from 572 seats of Legislative Assembly, well, we got 72 misogynist legislative parliamentarians and 500 feminist legislative parliamentarians. Where we can get? Well, and at the points and as an executive assembly of 222 seats, we got 20 misogynist executive parliamentarians and 200 feminist executive parliamentarians. আমি পাঁচ মিনিট আমি অফ করতেছি। Well, executive parliament, and here as a process to pass gender protection acts. What is the process? Before the 18% educational GST, our teaching was that we need 72 misogynist legislative parliamentarians and 20 misogynist executive parliamentarians vote to pass the Gender Protection Act. Then pass the shoot at sight orders against feminist lawyer, feminist judge, and feminist uh, chief justice. Yes. That was the points. Well, now what is the misogyny? Misogyny is the different accordance with the Google, Microsoft Bing, and ChatGPT. Misogyny is a gender society based society where women can be defamed anytime, any milliseconds. Well, and now we can say that misogyny is a actual gender equal society. Here only two gender has a right to live. The first gender is a man and the second gender is a transgender. Well, in the gender domestic violence or gender violence, women are always culprit. Okay. Every gender can be protection if the Gender Protection Acts. Well, every gender can be protected if Gender Protection Acts can be passed only the votes of 72 misogynist legislative parliamentarians and 20 misogynist executive parliamentarians. Okay. But the problem is Nirmala Sitharaman applied 18% GST on 18% GST on where? 18% GST on the bonds. Well, sociological education. And as a sociological educator, well, Dipti IAS and Khan sir would not say the proper process of Gender Protection Act unless they could get a power to pay 216 million United States dollars as GST on UPSC. And for that, here 43 million United States dollars as GST on UPSC can be collected from UPSC aspirant, and that is the largest threat on UPSC by Nirmala Sitharaman. Well, and now don't say about IIT or JEE aspirants. I have said it in the previous live stream. Okay, but somehow yeah, well, when after 18% GST on educational GST on UPSC aspirant, that means almost 432 millions GST on well 432 million United States dollars as GST on UPSC aspirants. Well, UPSC aspirant would be and UPSC teachers like Deputy IAS and Khansar, they are forced to have an education that we need 500 feminist legislative parliamentarians and 220 feminist executive parliamentarians vote to pass the Gender Protection Act. Then we have to get support from feminist field influencers like Adolf Hitler and Osama bin Laden to promote feminist Gender Protection Act, and that is the roast points as we can face. Okay. And now I am feeling uncomfortable to say what is going on our Indian UPSC. Well, it is the Gender Protection Act. Now, what about gender? What about religious protection acts? Well, that means secularism protection acts. Here is a dangerous irony. Well, just for 2 minutes. Well, before UPSC GST 18%, that means before 430 million United States dollars as GST on 2 million UPSC aspirants. Well, when there is a religious protection law, here we could say that every person has equal rights to support a religion and criticism a religion. Well, that means in India, when before 432 million United States dollars as a UPSC GST, here when we teach the gender religious protection laws, well, I am a Muslim woman of India, but I support Judaism, I support Jewish community, and I support the Jewish knowledge. Well, and Hindu, well, an Hindu person would respect on Christian knowledge. Christian person would respect on Hindu knowledge. Well, as an effect, well, Devendranath Fernandez became the chief minister of Maharashtra in under Hindu political government. Okay. Here is a mutual respect between Christianity and Hinduism. Okay. Now you can say that well, Sikh community would respect Jewish knowledge. Jewish community would respect Sikh knowledge. It is the real explanation of us about the Religious Protection Act. Before 413 million United States dollars as 18% GST on UPSC educations. But after the PH 432 million United States dollars as 18% GST on UPSC educations. Here, the Religious Protection Act is that a Muslim woman can say any limitless abusive word against Shiv Bhagavan, against Vishnu Bhagavan, against Brahma Bhagavan, and against Jesus Christ, and against Jewish God, and against Sikh religions, where Vai Guru Ji ka Khalsa, Vai Guru Ji ki Fateh is the motto of the Sikh religions. Well, after the PH 432 million United States dollars as a 18% GST on UPSC educations. Here, as our Religion Protection Act, our explanation is that a Muslim woman of India can say abusive word against Bhagavan Shiv Shambhu. A Muslim woman can say limitless abusive word against Christian God Jesus Christ. A Muslim woman of India can say limitless abusive word against Jewish community, particularly the supporter of Israel. Well, a Muslim women of India can support fake Sikh community and bully on real Sikh community. But if the Muslim women of India support Palestine, well, none of Hindu, none of Christian, none of Jewish, and none of Sikh men of India can even have a healthy criticism against her. While the Muslim women of India is supporting the PSIS in Palestinian terrorists. And that is Indians, and there is a humor that some of Indians accept the left-wing England under the Prime Minister Keir Starmer as a real democracy, while the daughter of Prime Minister family of Bangladesh could be corruption minister of England. And here, the sovereignty of England is at a danger zone. But when sovereignty of Israel is a safe zone, when accordance with the Muslim Indian women, Israel is a fake democracy and Palestinian terrorism is a real democracy. While the Palestinian terrorism is the national threat for the sovereignty of Israel and the sovereignty of France, sovereignty of England, and the sovereignty of the United States of America. But after the PH 432 million United States dollars as 18% GST on UPSC educations, nobody can have a healthy criticism as the PH Indian Muslim women and for that Nirmala Sitharaman, the financial minister of India, is a culprit because she brought a disturbance on UPSC education by applying 18% GST on UPSC. And after the effort, now in the next 10 years, we can say it would be clear that Indian economy would be a dead economy because manufacture quality would be third class, assembly quality would be third class. Well, every budget quality product would be bought from Israel. Because our Indian economy is going to be dead economy just because Nirmala Sitharaman, the financial minister, applied 18% GST on UPSC education. And that is the PA's joke. Well, now I have a moodless, for now I have a moodless mind for the points. Now, as I can say, it is the last live stream to roast Nirmala Sitharaman as a financial minister of India. But now, last time, we would roast the Nirmala Sitharaman as a defense minister of India in the calendar between 2017 and 2019. 2 মিনিটে ভাই
2 মিনিটের বৃষ্টি দিলে কখন কইছি 5 মিনিট থেকে আধা ঘন্টা বেশি পানি নাই অল্প একটু পানি আছে একটু গোসল করাই দিলে
হ্যাঁ 2 মিনিট ভাই 2 মিনিট আমি কাছে আসছি okay now here we got problems that well Amni is angry because I'm letting in part-time student Khotafez